Hello YouTube and welcome to yet another Java development tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about something called looping, and loops are pretty cool. It's pretty much if you want to do a certain task many times in a row without having to code it all, you can make a loop and it'll do it over again as many times as you need it to. And we're going to be talking about two kinds of loops. We're going to talk about a while loop and a for loop. And both of these are pretty much the same, except one is more organized than the other. But some people prefer this over this, and vice versa. And we are going to be starting with the while loop. So a while loop pretty much means while this equals this, or does not equal this, etc., do this. So I'll make a quick example. Int, I'm going to declare a variable, an integer named I, and I'm going to set I to have a value of 3. And in this while loop, which you declare like this, I am going to put in here while I is less than 100, do this. I want it to do I++. Now what this means is it's going to take the integer I, which has a value of 3, and it is going to add 1 to it. And plus plus pretty much means add 1, and this would work exactly the same. Plus plus is just a simpler way. I don't even know why it's implemented in pretty much every programming language, but it is. And this is what we're going to be doing. So after that, we're going to print out to the console the current value of I. So what it's going to do is it's going to loop through I, which is less than 100, and it is going to add 1 to I, and it is going to print out I's value until it becomes less than 100. So let's run this and take a look. Now if you look at the console, what it did was it printed 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all the way up to 100, and that's because it looped through this one loop that many times until that statement was true. And a cool thing about while loops is if you want it to be infinite, you can actually type true, and what this means is it will run forever and it will never stop running. So if I run this, you look here and the numbers just keep going and they don't stop. This of course really doesn't have much of a use. Even in game loops, it is highly suggested you don't do this because it's slower and all around just a bad idea. So you'll almost never use while true. So that kind of explains the while loop. And I will now explain the for loop. And a for loop is pretty much a while loop, but it's more compressed together, which some people like. Personally, I don't like the for loop, although it's all based on opinion. So here's what we do. We do int, and then our variable name, and then we do the comparison, and then we do what we want to add. And I'll explain this right now. So what we're doing is we are declaring integer I, and then we're doing I is less than 11, while I is less than 11, do I++. And let's see what this error is. Oh, okay, never mind. We just needed to initialize the variable. So we pretty much declared the variable and set it to a value, and we made a while loop type of statement, which I is less than 11, we will add 1 to I. And then we can do system, and actually I want to teach you guys one thing. Instead of writing system.out.println each time, you can actually write syso, hold down the control key and press space, and it will write system.out.println for you. That's just a quick little shortcut. But so this is pretty much just a while loop that's more compressed together. I don't really like it that much because I like to see what like everything that's happening all together, but some people like it more. And it's all based on personal preference, but I wanted to show you guys both. And so let's run this. And what it'll do is, just like a while loop, it will go through this, and it counted to 10 and printed out the value. So that is a small tutorial on looping, and I'll see you guys next tutorial.